Good morning everyone. Today our topic is civil engineering materials. We will go through the basic materials which we are using in civil engineering courses. These are the various contents which we have included in civil engineering, such as civil engineering definitions, branches of civil engineering, materials used in constructions such as bricks, stones, aggregates, cements, timbers and ramp proofing materials. First of all, we will go through the definition of civil engineering. Civil engineering is the art of directing the great source of power in nature and use for the man convenience. Basically, we can say that it is used for our convenience, for our day-to-day scheduling, for our conveniency. The main scope of civil engineering is planning, designing, estimating, supervising, construction, managing, execution, maintenance of structures, buildings such as road, bridge, dams and etc. Going towards the branch of civil engineering. These are the various branches which are divided, such as surveying and leveling, planning and construction, advanced construction, structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, water resource engineering, transportation engineering, environmental engineering and town planning. These are now going towards the materials which are used for the construction of the civil engineering. First one is bricks. Normally we are familiar to the bricks. What is bricks and where we can use? We are in our day-to-day life we are seeing the bricks. So bricks is manufactured in village industries where the plenty of the clay is available. The cost of the bricks are cheaper. As such as brick is resist fire, it should not be easily disintegrate. It can resist a good quality to atmospheric effects. Bricks are constructed from the clay, such as rectangular block with uniform size, by drying these blocks and burning that blocks for the uses. Bricks are very popular as they are easily available, economical, strong, durable and reliable. Now going towards the properties of the bricks. Bricks should be in uniform shape and standard in size. They should be sufficient hard to impress that they do not impress the if that impression does not left on the bricks. The brick should not breaks in two parts as it falls from the heights. When it is soaked in water for 24 hours, the salt should not deposited on the surface of the bricks. The brick should be well molded, burnt. There should not be any cracks. It should be sufficient of sharp edge and should be square edges. The color of the brick is uniform and bright. They should produce a metallic sound when struck with each other. Further, going towards the type of the bricks. Mainly there are two types of bricks used in our constructions. First one is conventional bricks, another is standard bricks. Conventional brick is rarely used. Its dimension is 21 to 25 cm in length, 10 to 13 cm in width, 7.5 to 10 cm in thickness in different countries. Normally adopted size of the conventional brick is 23 by 11.4 by 7.5 cm. Now coming towards the standard bricks. Standard bricks is used in different countries of the different size are used. So for the convenience, the IS standard has suggested a standard size of the brick where nominal size of the brick is 20 by 10 by 10 and actual size is 19 by 9 by 9. Now going towards the uses of bricks. As bricks are used extensively used in leading material of the construction, a fire brick is used for the interior works in the oven, chimneys and furnaces. Broken bricks are used for the blast material for railway tracks and also for the roads. Bricks are extensively used for the construction of the load bearing walls and partition walls. Bricks are also used for the face work at the artistic effects as required. Our next material is stone. As we are familiar with the stone in our day-to-day life, stone is easily available and is a good construction material. Stone is normally used in retaining walls, abutments, dams, barrage, roads, etc. Building stones possess enough strength and durability. Stones have considered as one of the popular building material from olden age due to the availability in the abundance and from the natural rocks. Common use of the building stone. They are used for the foundation of the building, in the construction of the dams, barrage, etc. Used as a raw material in manufacturing of the cement. The broken form of the stone is used for the construction of the roads and railway tracks. It is used for the decoration of the materials in building. It is also used for the building such as little arch, etc. Aggregate. Our next top material is aggregate. Aggregate provides a concrete with a body strength, acts as a filler material to give a homogeneous mass of the concrete along with the cement paste. Types of aggregate. Mainly there are two types of aggregates divided in two, which is fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. Fine aggregates is which whose particle passes through 4.75 mm mass sieve and retained on 0.15 mm sieve. Sand, crushed stone, ash, etc. are the example of the fine aggregate. Coming towards the coarse aggregate. Coarse aggregate is the particle which completely passes through the 75 mm mass and entirely retained on the 4.75 mm sieve mass. Broken rock, ballast, bricks, gravels, etc. are the example of the coarse aggregate. Going towards the quality and properties of the aggregate, it should not be soluble in water. It should possess a moderate weight. It should have a it should not affect to the weathering effect. It should be strong and durable. It should be resistive from corrosion and stretch. It should not contain any organic substance. It should not be any porous. It should be well graded. The surface structure of the aggregate should be rough. The particle aggregate should be hard, strong and durable. The uses of the aggregates. Aggregate is used for the base material in highways, walkways, airports, runways, parking lots and railroads. Going towards our next material, which is very important for the construction work, is cement. Cement is naturally obtained by burning and crushing the stones containing clay, carbonate of lime and some amount of the carbonate of magnesium. The color of cement is greenish grey in color. The best variety is Roman cement. These are the basic components of the cements, such as silica, which provides strength. Aluminium, it makes the cements to set quickly. Lime, it provides strength. Iron oxide, which provides the color, hardness and strength. Magnesium, which provides hardness and color. Calcium sulfate, which increase the initial setting time of the cement. Now, uses of the cement. Cement is mostly used for the construction of the buildings such as beams, floors, columns, roof, bricks, plasters, etc. In transportation, it is used for the roads, path, crossing, bridge, viaducts, tunnel, runways and parkings. In marine or waterwork, it is used for the pipe, culvert, drains, canal, weirs, dams, tanks and pools. Now going towards the another topic, which is cement concrete. Cement concrete is one of the mostly commonly used material. Cement concrete is a composite material of the various readily available material such as aggregates, sand, cement, water. It is versatile material that can be easily mixed to meet a variety of the special needs and form a virtually any shape. Advantages of the cement concretes are ability to be cast. It can be easily cast or molded in any shape. Economical. It is economical for the construction. Durable. It is truly durable. Fire resistance. It can resist a fire. Energy efficient. It should have high energy and efficient to carry a load. On-site fabrications. These are the various disadvantages of the cement concrete, such as low tensile strength, low ductility, volume instability, low strength of the weight ratio. These are the various properties of the fresh concrete, such as workability. It should have high workability. Consistency. It should have enough consistency to gain any shape or can be molded in any shape. Segregation. It should not segregate while constructing. Bleeding. It should not bleed while the construction or while laying the concrete. Setting time. It should have enough setting time to transport and lay down at the site. Unit weight. It should possess a unit weight to form a high durability. Uniformity. It should be uniform. Going towards the other material, which is timber. Timber denotes wood which is suitable for the building or carpentry or the various engineering and other purpose. The word timber is derived from the timberian, which means to build. These are the various requirements of the good timber. It should be dark and uniform in color. It should be dense. It should be workable in good machinability. It should be in uniform structure. It should be free from defects like knots, sag, cracks, splits, cracks, etc. There should not decay of the timber due to the fungi or insects like white ants and termite. It should be fireproof. It should be cheap. It should be durable and effective. These are the properties of the timber, like appearance. It should be freshly cut and the timber should be exhibit a hard and shiny appearance. Color. The color of the timber is preferably dark. A light timber indicates its low strength. Hardness. The timber should be sufficient hard to penetrate in any body, and it should not be a chemical presented at the heart of the timber which can affect the strength. Durability. It should be sufficient durable that no effect of fungi, insects, animal can harm the physical agencies and mechanical agencies. Strength. A good timber should be strong and working as structural member such as joint, beam, rafter. It should be capable of taking loads and suddenly. Structure. The structure should be uniform and modularly raised, should be hard and compact. These are the various uses of the timber. For making door, windows and ventilators. It is used for the flooring and roofing material. It is used for making furniture. Another one, it is used for the sport goods, musical instruments, etc. It is used for coach, wagons, bus, boat, etc. Now another material is proofing material. Dam proofing construction is a type of moisture control applied to the building walls and floor to prevent moisture from passing it to the interior space. There are two types of the dam proofing material, DPC and DPM. Whereas DPC stands for the dam proof course. It is a barrier of the masonry wall designed to resist the moisturizing through the structure actions. This phenomena is known as the rise dam. Dam proof course may be horizontal or the vertical. Going towards the dam proof membrane. As its name only show its quality, a membrane is provided at the foundation to control the moisturizing effect. Various types of proofing material used for the dam proofing, such as polythene, Going towards the material used for dam proofing are butyl rubber, hot bitumen, plastic sheets, bituminous felts, sheets of leads, copper, etc. Semi-rigid materials like mastic asphalts, rigid materials like impervious bricks, stones, slates, cements, mortars, painted with bitumens, etc. Stones, mortar with waterproofing compounds, coat sands layer under the floor, continuous plastic or under the floors. Thank you.